call to order the August 20th, 2026 Village Board meeting. Roll call shows all village board members are present. Staff is present. Nathan and Ryan are present. Allie and Jane and Aaron are excused. And our attorney representative is present.
Do you need my name for
Statement, yeah, what is your name?
It's Lynn, Lynn, Lorenson, Lorenson.
Thank you. 4 agenda changes, are there any? Okay. 5 consent agenda. A, August 6, 2026 regular board meeting minutes. B, August 6, 2026 committee of the whole minutes. C, licenses and permits as stated. D, presentation of accounts and other claims against the village. If there are no questions, I would need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept consent agenda.
I'll second.
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. 6, pre-registered citizens to be heard. We have a limit of 5 minutes. Please state your name and address. B, comments to be limited to 5 minutes. C, pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.832 and 19.842, the board's role is to listen to public comments and not to ask questions, discuss, or take action regarding pre-registered citizens' comments. Are there any?
Yes, there's one. Carrie Matheson.
Great, yep. My name is Kerry Matson. I live at 316 North Nash Street, and I'm here tonight to just make a couple comments about the Hortonville automotive business that I've heard a lot about. I'd like to speak tonight, but I've only got 5 minutes, so I'm going to probably have to read so I get done, so please bear with me here. In my opinion, I think the village has 2 goals. One, to bring people into the community. After a nice population growth in 2021, and it was really good. I think it was 8.9%. Over the next 4 years, we had 21 people move in. 26, we got a bounce back here, so I hope it keeps going. But I think that's one of the goals of the board, is to help bring people in the community. Second, to encourage, recruit, and help new businesses come to Hortonville. I think that's the 2 things. One way is with a vibrant downtown, and I've been here many, many years. In fact, I've lived here for 52 years. I remember when the downtown block had had 2 hardware stores, 2 gas stations, a meat market, cafe, pizza place, Ford dealership, laundromat, karate lessons, dance lessons, real estate business, bowling alley, and several different businesses on the corner of M and Main. And my family and I were downtown all of the time. Now, scattered among 4 bars and restaurants and a bowling alley, there are several small businesses. A former business turned into an apartment complex, a business that's open 2 hours a day, 2 days a week, a town of Hortonville administrative building. And I think I said the apartment complex already, upstairs and downstairs. I'm not sure that's legal. And there's a museum that how many people would actually go in there on a daily basis. Other than going out to eat or a cocktail on occasion, I don't think I've been downtown for 20 years. Just a point. We also have an industrial park, which is great, but it is full, so new businesses can't come into Hortonville. I looked the other day, and among the industrial park businesses is a dance studio, a horse rehabilitation center, and an insurance building. In an industrial park, I understand a building belonging to the county is going to be available soon, and there's going to be 4 business properties, and the village may be looking into using it as a storage unit. And I guess we got a chance to bring 4 new businesses in. Let's open the businesses and let's throw away junk. If you don't allow Hortonville Auto, I'll get into that right now, to remain where they currently are, they have nowhere in the village to go or to build. You now lose a business, you now lose a family. For 15 years, I drove to Gresham for my auto work. The guy would get me in right away, did great work, honest, reasonable. I tried Alex when he opened 3 years ago. I've been going to him since. He brings in people. They support our local businesses while they wait. And Alex and Shauna are also great supporters of our local businesses. So instead of getting rid of them and getting rid of their business, I'd like to see you work with them to either find a place to build You guys buy land so that they can have a place to build, and other businesses can come into the community, or you give them an exemption on their current business, which they have run for 3 years. Let them continue to be an important part of this community. They're within a block of Main Street, a small block from them, and a half a block from where the canning factory was. A great community building. It's a beautiful business. There's very little traffic, no cars in the streets, garage doors closed most of the time. In fact, if you didn't know it was an auto repair shop, you wouldn't even know the business was there, I don't think. And just to make another comment about businesses, I don't know what business is on Double T, but I got stopped for about 10 minutes the other day while a semi backed into a driveway. And I guess my question to you is that business being shut down? I don't know. I don't even know what business it is. It would seem to me, and this is only my opinion again, that unless you make an exemption and allow Hortonville ought to remain where they've been for the past 3 years, or you work with them to build a new place in town to keep their business, that you might have a bias against them. I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Consistency is important. If you're going to shut them down, are you going to shut the other 100 or more businesses that are operating out of their houses? You know they're out there. And I heard the other day something about sheds. Sheds are only supposed to have lawn equipment in them. You're going to check every shed in town to see if it's full of lawn equipment, or are there bicycles and everything else in there? I mean, you got to be consistent. I would hate to see something that seemed to have a simple solution get blown up and become a mess. Not only for Alex and Shauna, but for the village as well. So I hope you can find a way to help them. I hope you don't tell them what they can't do, and start working with them and tell them what they can do. It's been a great business for me. I know it's been a great business for a lot of people, and I would sure like to see it stay open. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak tonight. And I have another speaking engagement at 6:30, so I got to go. Thank you very much. Good to see you guys. Danny, good to see you.
Thank you.
Yep, you're very welcome.
Anyone else?
Not that was signed up.
Okay. 7, committee reports. There are none. 8, unfinished business from previous meetings. There is none. 9, new business. A 2026 Halloween proclamation. And it is I, Jeannie Belisle, village president, hereby proclaim Saturday, October 31st, 2026, between the hours of 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. as the official time for Halloween trick-or-treating in the village of Hortonville. And we don't need any action on that. B, discussion on ordinance to repeal a portion of the parking semi-trailers and trucks, amending of the traffic visibility triangle, repealing and replacing travel trailer, recreational vehicles, and buses for habitation, and also to create parking requirements, storage and parking of recreational vehicles, automobiles, and utility trailers, storage of trucks, tractors, and road machinery, and landscaping and buffer requirements.
Two things on this one, so we want to talk to you about. The other one is on the definition of the travel trailer. It's limiting it, saying between 10 and 36 feet. This is sort of picky, but some are more than 36 feet, especially once you get into fifth wheels. So you might want to modify that. I don't know what you want to change it to, but
What section, Jim?
what's that?
Are you talking in the actual definition,
Yeah,
general definitions?
I think it's a definition. Recreational vehicle means any of the following.
No.
In 7 says travel trailer means vehicular portable structure built on a chassis on wheels that is between 10 and 36 feet long, including the hitch. And there's some that exceed 36 feet, so
They wouldn't be allowed.
they wouldn't be allowed.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a tough one. Okay. So and the other part is the one that we talked about, and that is B3, where it says the storage of travel trailers, recreational vehicles, buses are not permitted unless there's a principal structure on the property other than the driveway area. Such vehicles shall not be stored within the front yard or road right of way. to change road right of way to, the apron, to designate that they can't be in the apron or the sidewalk area. Because the road right of way extends, too far into people's driveways. There is a section in there already that says you can't block the view on a corner, so, but because the right of way extends further into the driveways, now, most people's driveways aren't long enough where you're gonna end up with a travel trailer that you can't park in your driveway because it's 2 feet too long that it goes into your right of way. It doesn't extend into the roadway, doesn't extend into the apron, but it would violate this. And I don't think that's the spirit of what we're trying to do. So I would suggest making that change.
So kind of to piggyback on that, maybe this is more of a law enforcement question. What would take precedence? So let's say somebody they live on a corner and it is blocking the triangle, because we're talking about that tonight too, that visibility triangle. But they're just out to their apron. So as an officer who gets a complaint, they kind of contradict themselves. Do we add something in that with regard to the apron as long as it's not within the visibility triangle?
The visibility triangle is gonna take precedence over anything, because that's a safety issue.
Would an officer know that on the spot? I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but I'm just trying to say, like, as an officer or as a resident reading that, if they look up the municipal code and they see two different things, we want to somehow tie them together as
The
long
officer
as.
shouldn't really, I mean, I don't know, they typically aren't dealing with zoning issues. Most of the zoning issues end up coming into our complaints. I don't know,
But if it's a visibility thing, that's where they might get.
potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right, you want to clean up code as much as you can to make it as easy as possible. I'm going to give you kind of a general answer on that. I mean, I would suspect that our officer's going to look at it and see what the bigger need is, right?
Yeah.
And address that.
But if somebody's trying to
But
figure out.
if code, this happens a lot, right? Well, let me look up the code on that, or let me look up the ordinance on that, and
I'm a resident and I wanna park my trailer in the yard or in my driveway, it looks like I can go all the way to the apron. But are they gonna look, cause they're gonna be searching travel trailer, right? In Unicode online. They're not gonna be looking for visibility triangle online. I'm trying to think of,
The
that's
issue
why
is-
we have them online. I'm just trying to piggyback with what Jim is saying. If you're gonna allow that up to the apron, do we just somehow say something that it doesn't interfere with that?
Well, so we gotta make sure that it's out of the road. And maybe, I'm trying to think now, because road right of way is different than the right of way. Because typically when they say right of way, that includes everything in that 66 foot. But road right of way, I believe, is just the roadway in general now that I think about it. Because otherwise because normally when it's spoken to in the zoning code, it talks about right of way, and that
Okay.
means anything in that 66 foot
Yeah, yeah.
radius. And this seems very specific into a road right of way, meaning not to get into the roadway.
Okay. Oh, okay, so not the public right of way.
Because I mean, if you look
But
up,
the
if you
road
look
right
up
of
here
way
on
meaning
parking
that-
requirements,
Okay.
I have an edit that I didn't necessarily remove that I was supposed to, from planning and zoning, that removed the right of way line as
Okay.
part of this, and it would have said road right of way line otherwise, so if it says right of way, it's the whole space, road
Okay.
right of way is that,
So what you're saying
36
is that the
foot.
road right of way means that you can't be in the road,
correct.
not the actual
That's my
public
understanding.
right of way.
There's also the sidewalk ordinance not allowed to go into
Yeah,
it
that's
currently,
before that, yeah.
so then it doesn't necessarily
Okay, all right.
need to be addressed.
Sure.
Cause we kinda
Okay.
talked about it at planning
Right.
zone. We talked about this, and that's why I just wanted to make
So-
sure we're being clear.
Okay,
I
so,
just want-
yeah, so then it doesn't have to be, if road right of way defined means that, then then we don't have to change it. I do still, so if anybody has a trailer that's over 36 feet, including the hitch, they can't have it parked anywhere? Is that what it means?
Based on this definition, it means that it probably has a different type of name. It's not considered a travel trailer. I'm guessing that these definitions from the attorney was basically pulled from state statutes, because that's what they were before. on what these definitions are. That's my,
Okay.
Understanding
Because
is
I own a travel trailer that's 37 feet.
okay.
Well, I mean, it goes right here, the term travel trailer includes so-called fifth wheel units.
And fifth wheels extend way beyond,
They go
way beyond
40 plus.
36 feet.
Right, so then
Easily.
my guess is what they're talking about is, it's definitional. I don't think it has anything to do with the size. I mean,
I just want to make sure that you.
right, I
That it's
get what
not-
you're, yeah. I mean,
I'm not sure how you change that or what you do, but I mean, if you take a normal fifth wheel camper, you're easily 40 feet. I mean, they're almost all right around 40 feet long. And I have a travel trailer.
portable
that's-
structure built on a chassis on wheels.
Yeah.
That is between 10 and 36 feet long.
Do we have to have that 36 feet?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, I guess-
I don't
Does that have to
know,
be
my,
there?
my issue is I don't know if it's state statute that they're pulling that from, or if that was
Okay.
just from another ordinance. So,
Yeah.
What would make sense to you, Jim? Like, just removing the word 36 feet, or the words 36 feet entirely? Like,
Yeah, I would just remove the cap on it, because you're,
larger than 10 feet.
yeah, greater than 10 feet. I mean, I would just remove the cap, the high-end cap. Because there's tons of, I mean, I had a friend who had a travel trailer, it's a toy hauler, and it was 42 feet plus the hitch. And I just looked at a travel trailer the other day that was 46 feet plus the hitch. So, I mean, that's 3-foot hitch, so it's 49 foot long. Now, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, right? You can't put it anywhere, but if you've got the space for it,
Right.
there's no reason why we should say, well, that one's 3 feet too long, you can't park that in your driveway.
Right.
So, I guess the other thing I was just gonna kind of go through section by
Sure.
section.
Yeah.
That, I felt that worked well with planning and zoning for people.
Okay.
So, the traffic visibility triangle, we switched that down from a 35-foot, to a 25-foot, because most municipalities are anywhere between 20 and 30 feet is usually the max I've seen. I think we're higher than any that I've seen. The visibility triangle is basically, if you measure from where the two curves of a corner lot would intersect, you take 35 feet each way, and then you kind of cut that in half to touch the other area. If anyone has questions on it, I could show you what it looks like. So dropping it down doesn't do a ton. If you're dropping it down to 25 feet, you're still easily visible. It doesn't really impact you as much as a driver. Based on most of our roads here that I've looked at, there hasn't been really any impact. I think the 35 feet would be more for if you were 2 or 3 cars back from a stop sign to be able to see, which you don't really need to at that point. So, there's the parking requirements. We did at planning and zoning, they suggested removing the right-of-way line, and I missed that, so I will be removing that. And then the other thing that they suggested to remove that I missed here is D1, to remove that out as well. Basically, we talk about landscaping, that they should have it. That way when businesses or, industrial park is looking at people coming in, they come in, they have requirements to put in landscaping. There's no set requirements though. It's trying to work with them as much as possible and not have, the prior one, planning and zoning felt was, along with myself, was like a little much. It was telling you how many types of shade trees you had to have every 40 feet and how many plants, and while that's nice to have all that detail for municipalities in general, I think most of the time if you work with the developer, it's been easier. I don't know, does anyone have any other questions in the, basically parking requirements? storage and recreational vehicles, we'll edit that A7, travel trailers to just be greater than 10 feet. Anything else in that section? Okay. The storage of trucks, road machinery, etc. That's all pretty much the same. Some of it has been added in there. Landscape buffer requirements, and then those two areas are the ones that were really kind of the newer areas that we've added in. Is there any questions in those?
Any other questions?
So the plan going forward with all of these that we're gonna be going through is, that's why it's just for discussion, is we're gonna basically do it all at once. We've gone through the planning and zoning process for this one and a few others. The other ones we passed because they were kinda needed. These ones, the plan is to just hold them until we've gotten through all of the zoning code, and then at that point do one large zoning update at once. Otherwise, I think we're gonna probably have some problems with the, basically how it shows up on Unicode when we submit them, all of these and what gets taken out. It's just cleaner if you have a one document that approves all of the updated zoning code. So, if there's no, other than those things that we were gonna change on here, I would bring that back at a future date with the rest of the code, and then it would just be a one and done process once we get there, but it might take a few months.
Everyone's good? No other questions? Okay, we'll move to 10, report of village officials. A, clerk treasurer, Jane's report was in the packet. B, director of public works, Aaron's is also in the packet. C, police chief, Brian.
A couple trustees sent me the League of Municipalities is putting on that, the e-bike thing on the 26th, so super excited to see what they have to say about looking at that and the challenges, I think, across our state, something that we just recently discussed, and you know, hoping out of there I can bring something back, again, for us to look at.
So you're gonna go then, so.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't need to.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting too, as I, you know, dig around on that a little bit more. Nathan and I have talked about it, you know, there's, I think there's there's a lot of state law that really covers a lot of these things, and I think we just need to evaluate, like, you know, how in-depth we want to go on this. And again, it'll be interesting with League of Municipalities, just because you hear from across the state what others are doing and some of the challenges they face. So, you know, I'll have a report on that at next meeting. Just a lot of, you know, safety presentations wrapping up for our first day of school. A lot of construction questions, you know, what things are going to look like here, and just kind of monitoring that daily and working with folks as we see that influx of traffic for the school year. So that's about all.
Any questions for Brian? Okay, then we will go to library director, and Ally is excused. E, attorney, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. F, administrator, Nathan.
Dealing with, obviously, you know, we're getting a few calls per day to go downtown to see try to figure out what's in the ground, in certain areas. So that's taken up a good amount of time. Trying to get signatures for pipe bursting as well, for that special assessment that we put on for that. small business development grant, coordinating with businesses that have applied and trying to make sure they're still moving forward on it, as well as dealing with, you know, we got VC3 in to kind of work with some of the issues we were having with our Wi-Fi. We think we got that kind of figured out. So just kind of going through and trying to stay above water at this point. Yeah.
Has everything been going okay with the path, the walking path?
I mean, I've heard some complaints on some ATV's use on it. I think one of them was caught, and the other one I think I know who it is. And we will be addressing that with him. Unless you already did, I don't know. Okay.
I think there were some varying reports of who that could possibly be, so, but we did have one last weekend that we issued a citation, somebody went through on, I know that Hunter Report had seen some tire tracks and things through there, and we just saw somebody ripping through, so we're trying to monitor that thing as much as possible. Maybe made it a little bit too wide and inviting.
Yeah. Do we have any signage on there?
All over it.
All over, because I went out there right after it was done, and just wondering.
Yeah, I know the officers have been sitting down there quite a bit, kind of in that area by the highway shop, just, you know, for folks, one for traffic, but then also trying to monitor people going through. And I think I'd mentioned previously too, the school resource officers know with the amount of things going on, they're going to be spending some time kind of monitoring that area in the morning and the afternoon, just because I have a concern of pushing a lot of new pedestrians through a inviting kind of old factory building scenario that they didn't know was there probably.
Has the open house already happened for the middle school?
No, next Wednesday, I think 3 to 6, I want to say.
I got a phone call from a parent, a middle school parent, wanting to know about that trail, and I told them to go to Facebook. They're like, I don't have Facebook. So there are people out there who don't get that social media push. So if there could be something, maybe just a map or something at open house, especially for the middle and elementary school.
Yeah, I can, yes.
'Cause
And
not
I will
everybody
work with
has Facebook.
Jared and Tori as well and see, they, you know, usually send out a newsletter. I don't know if they've sent out their back to school newsletter yet, but I can work with them just to maybe share that map in their newsletter.
Something, yeah. And I just ended up copying it and texting them
Sure.
the map, but
Okay.
that would be helpful.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can put speed limit posting signs on Nash now with the traffic? There's like major speed going down Nash more than usual. And it's just with more parking happening in that area right now, more people walking in that area, it's kind of a safety concern. I can't even get out of the parking lot some days because they're driving through so fast.
I can work with Aaron to see what we have for signage. I don't know if we have extra 25, I mean, well, because it's the highway department.
They can work with the county.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they
Yeah,
probably wouldn't
that's right.
care, but
Yeah.
we gotta talk to them first. 'Cause
Don't we have
they
that
might
little
not-
blinky thing?
Yes.
The speed boards.
We have speed boards we can put up.
It just doesn't warrant, I mean, it's just
We do, we just gotta move the brackets
I
and
just-
it's not that
it's
big
just
of a
like-
deal, but, I mean, to
kind
throw
of
them
safe,
up
especially
and,
when school starts, because there's a lot of kids that are through there and.
yeah, for sure.
We're planning on having our SROs potentially down there in the beginning.
Well, and I've tried to express to Benton and others, like, there's a pretty big influx of traffic that's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. I mean, for a small community, it's a unique situation with the back to school, and I get a ton of questions with the bus drivers too, just as far as what things are gonna look like, so, and again, like, it's kinda day to day. I think that's a good Monday morning when we get highway department there to bring up signage with them, and we could move some brackets around too, have Public Works change those brackets, but yeah.
Even if not, even the county has those, the county sheriff's department has those speed things too that are a little more visible. Not that you wanna add one more thing to the street,
Right.
but they're so
If it gets
visible.
people to slow down.
Well, especially when they're coming around that curve there, you know, it's just like they are just zipping through there.
Mhm.
And then it's like halt to a stop at the
They're doing it on Main too.
Yeah, I'm sure
but
they are.
they're- Yeah, I think someone was trying to get air the other night.
Yeah, with some of the other road construction that's going on down on 76 too, I think the concern is the amount of traffic that's gonna push up M,
Mhm.
just to find out that all of that's going on, you know, especially that first week.
Mhm.
Cause a lot of folks just maybe don't go that way until they bring their kids to school, and so, you know, that's kinda what I've shared with everybody that first week is we're gonna need a lot of extra eyes out there, and hopefully people kinda figure it out, slow down. So, but yes, I will,
Thank you.
we'll check on Monday with the highway department and see what they can help us out with.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll go to G, building permit report, there is none. H, any other miscellaneous topics for future discussion?
I only have one, and I kinda gave Nathan a little heads up on this. I'd like to either do a public facilities, public works joint meeting, or just simply do a CAL, 'cause I think that would cover everybody. In 2027, we've got a lot of new facilities, new public facilities and new things. And I just would like to get a good handle on how, like, are we equipped? Do we have the right equipment? Do we have, do we have everything that we need for these new facilities? So I don't know, just a call maybe may be easier than a joint public facilities, public works meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
The only thing on that is I would like it before we do budget. That's because it would possibly be purchasing or looking ahead towards staffing and that sort of thing.
Okay,
Sorry.
we'll go to 11, communication and miscellaneous business. A, Black Otter Lake District News.
Nothing other than the meeting next Thursday at 5:30.
Okay, that's the annual meeting. Okay.
Thanks.
B, Hortonville,
It's
Hortonia
5
Fire
is
District.
the hot dogs, so
5 is hot dogs, yeah.
just.
5:30 is the actual meeting then?
Yeah.
Okay. B, Hortonville, Hortonia Fire District News, Jim?
Nothing there.
Okay, C, Gold Cross Ambulance Run Reports and News, there is none. D, Hortonville Civic Association, Jane?
Nothing.
Okay, E, Senior Activities, Therese?
Nothing this week.
Okay. 12, comments and suggestions from citizens present, is there anything?
I just want to say that I heard the National Night Out was a really great event and good job.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of people were happy with it and there was high attendance, I heard, so.
Yeah, appreciate it, appreciate the support. Yeah, it was, I always say, like, it just keeps growing, I don't know, it's a good thing.
Agreed.
It's a lot of folks in a couple hours.
Agreed. Good work.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, then 13, I would need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. It is 6:33.